husband is here. The ready red soldier brother came home for the first time, and before he even stepped out, a soft body bumped right into his arms. Little brother, did you mistake me for someone else? I've been a soldier for so many years. Just retired. Where would I get a wife from? No, I didn't mistake you. You are my husband. Lu Sui took off his sunglasses. Frowning Ash looked at the person clinging tightly to him. The young boy's dewy, deer-like eyes were pitch black, and he didn't seem to be lying. Just as he was puzzled, Zuan Bao stood on tiptoe and clumsily managed to kiss him. A lazy voice came from behind. That's right, he is your husband. No mistake. His second uncle was walking over behind him, carrying 2 bottles of happy water. Hearing his second uncle's words, veins bulged on Lu Sui's forehead. After some friendly communication, the second uncle finally told the truth. It turned out the young boy was the wife his second uncle had bought for him for 5,000 yuan. That day, he had been playing mahjong for a full day and night, his mind muddled. As soon as he stepped out, he ran into Zuan Bao's uncle, who said the family couldn't make ends meet. At that time, Zuan Bao was wearing a skirt, looking sallow and emaciated. Pitiful to see. Thinking that Lu Sui was almost 30 and still hadn't married, he hardened his heart, bargained the price down from 20,000 to 5,000, and brought the person home. Thinking he had scored a great deal, he only realized during bath time that not only did Zuan Bao have some mental issues, but he was also actually equipped with male parts. By the time he angrily grabbed a kitchen knife to go settle the score, the person had already disappeared without a trace. After finishing, guiltily rubbed his nose. Isn't it because I'm worried for you? Zuan Bao is only 19 after all, 10 years younger than you. You, kid, have picked up a huge bargain. Inside the car, Lu Sui was so angry that veins bulged on his forehead. Suppressing his temper, hesitated in a poor tone. But he's a man. Yes, and still a fool. How am I supposed to carry on the family line? Hearing this, Liang Jingxuan beside him poked his fingers, tears welling up in his eyes. Husband. Seeing this, Lu Jun's pent-up anger surged up. What's wrong with being a man? This is futile thinking. If you think marrying a woman means bringing her home to serve you, then you might as well just hire a nanny. Thankfully, he's still a bit simple-minded. Even if someone tries to flirt with him, they won't be able to lure him away, so you don't have to worry about them cheating on you. What does continuing the family line have to do with him? If he can't get pregnant, isn't that your problem? If you're incapable, just say it outright. Lu Sui glared angrily. This is completely twisted logic. You're marrying a male wife for your own nephew. Aren't you afraid the villagers will point fingers behind your back? No matter what, I don't want them. Why don't you want him again? Zuanbao is very good. Lu Sui interrupted Lu Jun impatiently, raising his voice. Not to mention he's a fool. Even if he weren't a fool, he is still a man after all. How could he give me a son? Husband, I can give birth. Hearing this, Zuan Bao suddenly turned his head away, his eyes red-rimmed as he looked at him timidly. What do you mean? Lu Sui was completely bewildered. Second uncle gripped the steering wheel tightly, made a sharp turn, and then began to explain. To Lu Sui, it turned out that Zuan Bao had an extremely rare special constitution, one that allowed him to become pregnant and give birth normally, just like a woman. Husband, I really can give birth. If you don't believe me, I can show you. Seeing that Lu Sui still didn't believe him, Zuan Bao reached out to pull down his pants. Witnessing this scene, something seemed to explode in Lu Sui's mind. After a thunderous roar, his 2 large hands, like starving wolves that had been lying in wait, pounced and pressed him down. Do you have any idea what you're doing right now? Zuan Bao pouted, speaking with aggrieved reverence. You don't believe I can have a baby. I just wanted wanted you to see with your own eyes. His voice was soft and gentle without any force, yet it managed to completely disarm Lu Sui. Lu Sui sat back in his seat, disheveled, and said breathlessly, "Put your pants on first." Liang Jinggaxuan was conflicted, tilting his head and saying, "But you haven't looked yet." Lu Jun stifled a laugh. "Xuanbao, if you want to show him, wait till you get home. When it's just the two of you in the room, then you can show him. Also, you can't just take off your pants randomly. From now on, no matter who asks you to take them off, you mustn't. Only your husband can, understand?" Hearing this, Liang Jinggaxuan obediently nodded. "Okay, understand." Then he leaned on the seat and moved closer to Lu Sui, lowering his voice. "Husband, I'll show you when we get home." Then, as soon as these words were spoken, Lu Sui's face flushed instantly. For the rest of the journey, Lu Sui was in agony. Whether it was the stuffiness or something else at play, the willpower he fiercely clung to was under violent assault. Lu Sui uncontrollably turned to look at Liang Jinggaxuan. The young man was already asleep, his glistening red lips slightly parted, large patches of golden light spilling over his cool, pale skin. Truly like a spirit who had cultivated into human form. A flicker of panic flashed through Lu Sui's ink-dark eyes, but it vanished quickly without a trace. As the car drove into the spacious courtyard, second uncle, as if relieved of a great burden, freed one hand to rub his sore neck. Finally home. Liang Jingxuan hadn't woken yet. Second uncle opened the car door and headed straight inside, tossing back to Lu Sui as he left. "You carries Wanbao in. He woke up early today and didn't sleep." "Well," Lu Sui frowned tightly, "why should I carry him?" "Because he's your wife, not mine," Second uncle called back, raising his voice. Lu Sui seemed to surrender, stiffly bending down, fumbling for a long while before carefully picking up Xuanbao. The moment he lifted him, Lu Sui's whole body tensed, his breathing suddenly turning rapid. Liang Jinggaxuan's body was soft, fragrant, like glutinous rice cake wrapped in osmanthus honey. He proceeded with extreme caution, tightening his arms, afraid of squeezing the person in his embrace. Even his steps were very light. Zhao Sui, inside the house, Song Hezi held a steaming plate of braised pork, her eyes reddening as she looked at Lu Sui. Second aunt. Lu Sui called out excitedly, a rare light in his eyes. The sharp confrontation was gone. Song Hezi placed the braised pork on the round table and anxiously stepped forward. "Takik, don't move. Are you hurt this time? Let your auntie take a good look." "Auntie, I'm not hurt this time." Lu Sui came back once the year before last, got shot 3 times in a mission. One bullet almost hit his heart. Song Hezi fainted on the spot when she got the call. And during those days, she kept vigil by the hospital bed. She almost cried her eyes out. Seeing him safe and sound, Song Hezi hurriedly wiped away her tears. "It's good you're not hurt. Are you leaving again after coming back this time?" Seeing Song Hezi's worried expression, Sui couldn't help but feel somewhat guilt not leaving. Up and hearing this, the big stone pressing on Song Hezi's chest finally moved aside. "That's good. That's good. Aunt, what about him?" As he spoke, Lu Sui's gaze fell on Liang Jinggaxuan, who was snoring softly in his arms. Seeing this, Song Hezi burst out laughing. "Xuanbao knew you were coming back today and was so excited he didn't sleep all night. Before dawn, he dragged your uncle out of bed. Just put him on the sofa for now. I'll go to Therum to get a small blanket to cover him, okay?" Lu Sui carefully bent down and gently placed Xuanbao on the sofa. Liang Jinggaxuan furrowed his brows slightly, his long, curled eyelashes sticking together in clumps. Lu Sui, supporting himself on his knees, half squatted down, and before he knew it, he was staring, entranced, something inside his heart growing uncontrollably and wildly. Husband. Liang Jingshuan murmured in his sleep. Lu Sui took an awkward step back, his heart suddenly leaping into his throat. Unhurriedly walked towards Zuan Bao. Fortunately, Liang Jinggakshuan didn't open his eyes in the end, just turned over and fell back asleep, his clothes accidentally riding up. His snow-white skin had a warm, moist sheen, delicate as porcelain. Lu Sui's eyes darkened with a reddish hue, and he unconsciously licked his dry, cracked lips. Just then, San Guizi returned with the blanket and bumped into a stunned-looking Lu Sui. Zhao Sui, why is your face so red? What's wrong? It's nothing. Well, you guys go ahead and eat. I'm feeling a bit hot. I'm going to take a shower. Lu Sui could be said to have fled in a panic, spending a full half-hour in the bathroom. The cold shower from earlier finale suppressed the restless feeling in my heart. A faded towel hung around my neck, and the water droplets on my body weren't dried, dangling precarily on his arms. 1 meter 96, with the tall and burly build, his muscles were taut. The lines are filled with an explosive sense of power. A very ordinary white tank top and black riding breeches were worn by him with a rogue and wild flair. The living room was empty. Liang Jinggakshuan was no longer on the sofa, leaving only a pile of creases behind. The round table was laden with chicken, duck, fish, and meat. All his favorites. Every New Year's feasts were never this lavish. Just then, second uncle came out of the main hall, carrying a string of firecrackers. You've returned from the army, so we must set off firecrackers. It's a rule passed down by our ancestors. As second uncle spoke, he fumbled for a long time without finding a lighter, and after searching around, it was still nowhere to be found. Zuanbao, have you seen my lighter? Here. Liang Jinggakshan trotted out from the kitchen, holding a bundle of incense with sparks flickering. Second uncle took the lighter and cautioned with concern, be careful. Don't burn your hand. Okay. Liang Jingshuan nodded perfunctorily. His deer-like eyes gazed stickily at Lu Sui, waiting until second uncle had walked far away before, cautiously moving closer. Husband, his voice was soft and sweet. Lu Sui's body stiffened, retreating a few steps as if avoiding a flood or a wild beast. Liang Jinggakshuan wasn't discouraged. Shuffling his steps, Tajit closer. Husband, do you really dislike me? Lu Sui's eyes were deep and dark. I dislike you a little, but not a lot. After all, the one responsible for this farce wasn't him. He was a victim, just like himself. The incense burned quickly, sparks flying everywhere. Lu Sui's face darkened. Give me the incense. Liang Jingshuan didn't hesitate and handed it over. Relying on vague memory, Lu Sui stuck the incense into the incense burner. Liang Jingshuan followed closely like a little tail. Husband, I want to stick some too. Lu Sui furrowed his brows. His expression, Su Yan, stop following me. Hearing this, Liang Jinggakshuan poked his fingers, having no choice but to wait until Lu Sui had walked far away before following step by step again. Inside the kitchen, Song Hizi was scrubbing the pot. Lu Sui stepped forward to help. Second aunt, go rest. I'll scrub it. Song Hizi avoided his hand. No need. It's almost done. Don't dirty your hands. Help me take the dishes on the stove outside. Lu Sui. He brought out all 3 dishes left on the stove. Liang Jinggakshuan also wanted to help, but there were no dishes left. Staring pitifully at Song Hizi, auntie, I want to help too. Husband is so mean. Song Hizi was amused by him. The plates are very hot. Zhao Sui was afraid you'd get burned. Get started. Liang Jingshuan thought of Lu Sui's disdainful look. Really? Really? Hurry you and go out. We'll eat after your second uncle finishes setting off firecrackers. Song Hizi's words soothed the uneasy Liang Jinggakshuan, and he was no longer distraught, trotting off to the living room. Lu Sui was serving rice. Husband, let me help you. Liang Jinggakshuan took an empty bowl and handed it to Lu Sui. Lu Sui shot him a glare none. As he spoke, he placed the served rice on the round table. Liang Jinggakshan pouted aggrievedly, his deer-like eyes filled with a misty haze, trembling hands tugging at the corner of Lu Sui's clothes. Husband, I can have babies. I'll give you as many as you want. If you don't believe me, come with me to the room. I'll show you. Hearing this, Lu Su's body stiffened, and he paused. A scalding heat surged to his brain. The defenses so painstakingly built up just collapsed. Endurance finally broke through the threshold. Following Theferekrakers in the small courtyard, it all erupted. Husband, Liang Jinggakshuan seemed quite afraid of the crackling firecrackers. The sound of the explosion covering their ears, they directly shrank into Lu Sui's embrace. Zuanbao, with a ghastly pale face, sought refuge and, in a moment of desperation, grabbed Lu Sui's vest and burrowed inside. The firecrackers burned out. The smell of gunpowder and astrangent frantically spread through the air. Husband, I'm scared. Lu Sui's arm, veins bulging, gripped Liang Jingshuan's shoulder, and with a forceful tug, he directly pulled Zuanbao out from the vest. A dark shadow sank in the depths of his sinister eyes. Lu Sui closed his eyes, turned his back, and pulled. Legs went to the bathroom again. Husband, where are you going? Liang Jingshuan lifted his leg and followed. Can you stop following me? Lu Su's fierce eyes held undisguised disgust. Zuanbao hesitated, standing in place, poking his fingers. Husband, okay. Seems angry. Zuanbao, time to eat. Song Hezi placed the last dish of cold mixed cucumber on the round table. Coming. Liang Jingzuan took 2 steps, then shuffled back. Husband, time to eat. After calling out, he ran off. On the other side, separated by a wooden door, Lu Sui leaned against the wall, frowning as he looked at his lower half, never having been in such a sorry state before. Lu Sui hurriedly cleaned up, and Onlathan walked out of the bathroom. Husband, for you. Zuanbao carefully handed over a bowl heaped full of rice. Lu Sui lowered his head to look at him, the anger in his eyes gradually fading. After a brief moment of thought, he still accepted that bowl of rice. Seeing this, Zuanbao revealed a faint smile and hurried lit a chair over to sit beside Lu Sui. Lu Sui clenched the chopsticks in his right hand, and Zuanbao pressed close against him, arm making him feel somewhat at a loss. Song Hezi dotingly pushed the braised fish in front of him. Zhao Sui, you like fish the most, eat more. Lu Sui nodded politely. Thank you, Auntie. Zuanbao picked a piece of lean meat from the stir-fried pork with peppers, too. Auntie, this piece of meat is no fat. Song Hezi smiled and hurriedly used her bowl to receive it. Our Zuanbao is so good. Beside them, Lu Jun took a small sip of osmanthus wine. Of course. Just look at who found him. Hearing this, Lu Sui put down his chopsticks. Son, his voice filled with fury, did you ask me when you were looking? Did I agree? Zhao Sui. Song Hezi's words were not yet finished. With a bang, glass hearts flew everywhere. Army directly stood up and smashed the wine glass. You have to agree even if you don't. Agreed. I am your father. How does that saying go? The parents command, the matchmakers words, the father is the sky. You must listen to your father. Lu Sui clenched his fists, perhaps because the pent-up frustration had been building for too long. The resentment in his heart instantly erupted completely. You accuse me of being futile, but you are the truly futile one. You gambled away all the money my father left me, and then casually found a fool to deceive me. Aren't you afraid my father will come looking for you at night? If he has the ability, let him come. I'm a living person. I'm not afraid of him. As he spoke, Lu Jun picked up his chopsticks and placed a piece of braised pork into Zuan Bao's tear-filled eyes. Zuan Bao, eat more meat, strive to have a big, healthy baby boy next year. He will be your husband from now on. You are his wife. If he Daresto treats you badly, I will kick him out. For this final reunion meal, except for Lu Jun, no one had an appetite. Lu Sui angrily put down his bowl and chopsticks and returned to his room. Seeing this, Zuan Bao picked up food into his own bowl. He grabbed a large piece of fish meat and chased after him. Husband. Zuan Bao stood timidly at the doorway holding a bowl and chopsticks, his eyelashes clumped together in strands, most likely from recent crying. Lu Sui's eyes darkened slightly and lowered his gaze. Get out. This room is now mine. Of course, it's Al Sawyer's. After saying this, Zuan Bao noticed Lu Sui's expression grew even worse, so he hastily added, Of course, the premise is that you have to sleep with me. Otherwise, it's not yours. Hearing this, Lu Sui's nearly calm face was once again met with a storm. Lu Sui strode over to Zuan Bao, looking down at him with contempt. On what grounds? Just because I'm your wife. Lu Sui was a head taller than Zuan Bao, his slender neck now lowered. Come to see him, his violent gaze is as sharp as a knife. I don't admit it. Then you aren't. Zuan Bao's heart suddenly skipped a beat. He reached out and carefully tugged at Lu Sui's sleeve. I've met Mom and Dad, and they agreed. Right, you have to admit it even if you don't want to. Upon hearing this, Lu Sui's thin lips pressed into a straight line. Stop talking nonsense here with me. My parents died when I was 7. How could you possibly have seen them? It's true, on the anniversary of their death. That time, I went to sweep their graves. That very night, I dreamed of Mom and Dad. They said your temper is very fiery, and you're also very stubborn, telling me I must always give way to you. Zuan Bao's eyes are pure and sincere. Lu Sui's gaze darkened, bloodshot veins almost bursting in his eyes. All these years, they had never once entered his dreams. Why? He wanted to throw himself forward recklessly, tear apart this fool who had been provoking him. But before he could act, he was interrupted by the sudden sound of firecrackers. Zuan Bao heard the sound of firecrackers like a startled fawn, hid in his embrace with a pale face, clinging tightly and refusing to let go. Lu Sui lowered his eyes, somewhat annoyed. Let go of me. Zuan Bao seemed not to hear. Trembling hands lifted his clothes and crawled in from underneath. The oversized black t-shirt formed a hidden shelter enveloping him in intense hormones. Hiss. Why did you hit me? Lu Sui's chapped lips were pressed tightly together, his body trembling instantly, as if restraining an inner eruption. Husband. Zuan Bao belatedly crawled out, looking at him with an innocent face. Lu Sui, his whole body tense, turned his back. Get out. Husband, don't be angry. I was wrong. How about you hit me too? Saying this, Zuan Bao circled around. She walked up to him and lifted her clothes. Seeing this, Lu Sui closed his eyes in despair, gritting his teeth as he forced out each word one by one. Go out. Husband, you're unreasonable. You were the one who wanted to hit, then you didn't, and now you're angry. Zuan Bao pouted, looking utterly wrong. Seeing his silly expression, Lu Sui's anger immediately dissipated by half. No, you get out of here right now, and put the clothes down. Zuan Bao ed, and obediently put the clothes down. Husband, don't be angry, I was wrong. You go out first. Lu Sui's tone wasn't so fierce anymore. Glanced over, looking very disdainful. They're hideously ugly. Then he on his chin. Husband, don't be angry anymore, really. No, I was wrong. Lu Sui trembled inadvertently, his face suddenly turning dark and vicious. What are you doing? Zuan Bao Smacked his lips, kissing you. Before, I saw second uncle make second and angry. He kissed the second aunt, and second aunt stopped being angry. I don't want you to be angry. Lu Su gritted his teeth. I am not angry. Then, why did you make me go out? Zuanbao's cheeks puffed out slightly, ripples rising in his deer-like eyes. Lu Sui was overwhelmed by his sophistry, seized by anger and at a loss for words. What's wrong with me? Zuan Bao suddenly and unexpectedly edged him, pressing her head against his firm chest muscles. Beneath her ear came the heavy, powerful heartbeat, continuously striking his senses. Husband, your heart is beating so fast. Lu Sui's eyes were bloodshot, with bulging veins attached, his strong arms encircling Zuan Bao above. Do you think I don't dare to hit you? Zuan Bao thought the man was still angry, wrapped his arms around his neck, and landed on thin lips that were dry and cracked. A kiss. Lu Sui's face abruptly stiffened, as if ants were gnawing at his internal organs. He roughly pushed Zuan Bao away, stumbling his way to the bathroom. This short distance felt like a beast-driven to a dead end, exhausting all the resistance and strugglingly led to even more disarray. Suizi, the village chief and the party secretary are here. You should come out quickly. Don't stay holed up inside. Second uncle drank too much, reeking of alcohol. The village chief and the party secretary followed behind. Zuanbao opened their room door. Second uncle, hello village chief, hello party secretary. The village chief and the party secretary smiled kindly. Zuanbao, hello to you too. Second uncle took a look around. Where's your husband? Hearing this, Zuanbao helplessly piqued his fingers. He went to take a bath. What the heck? How come he went to take a bath again? Zuanbao shook his head like a rattledrum. I don't know either. I took off pants. He wouldn't let me take them off. I pinched him, and he got angry. I kissed him, and then he went to take a shower. Lu Jun stifled a laugh and covered Zuanbao's mouth. Zuanbao, in the future, just say things like that to Suizi under the covers. Don't say them out loud. Then he lowered his voice again, speaking in a tone only the two of them could hear, saying, when you talk, don't wear clothes. That little bastard definitely won't be able to hold back. Zuanbao nodded, seeming to understand, but not fully. The next morning, the grayish-white light illuminated the makeshift bed on the floor. Lu Sui woke up. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw a snow-white leg lying across his stomach. Zuanbao, who should have been sleeping on the big bed, was now snuggled tight liagant and taking up more than half of his pillow, his little face flushed, sleeping soundly like a little piglet. Lu Su's breath hitched. He gently moved his leg away, and then tiptoed out of the room. It was already the end of August now, and every household had harvested their corn, leaving only theirs unharvested. If they didn't harvest it soon, it would rot in the field. A cornfield that stretched as far as the eye could see. Sui held a dogtail grass in his mouth, his back soaked through with sweat. In one morning, he had harvested corn from 2 plots of land. The midday sun was the fiercest, but Lu Su had been a field army soldier before this bit. The sun is still bearable, it's just that this sweat keeps pouring down like rain. Suddenly, a voice called out, "Husband." Lu Sui turned toward the sound and saw Zuanbao standing on the dirt bank, holding a bamboo basket. "Why have you come?" Lu Sui asked solidly. Fine beads of sweat rolled over his muscles. "I've brought you food. Let's eat first." As he spoke, Zuanbao lifted the red cloth covering the bamboo basket. Lu Suhad caught the scent of braised fish from far away. He walked over unhurriedly, sickle in hand. On the earthen bank, Hestafly took the bamboo basket from her hand. "I'll eat it, you go back first." His tone wasn't exactly good, but it wasn't very bad either. "I'm not going back. You're my husband. Where you are, is where I'll be. Zuanbao tugged at his pants. Don't let go. We've only met a few times, do you really know what a lifetime means? Lu Sui appeared very irritable. Zuanbao very seriously counted on his fingers. 6 times. No, it's 7 times. A lifetime ice like second uncle and second aunt. Sample, I know. The sun is scorching and harsh, and Zuanbao's palm-sized little face is as red as if it's been burned. Lu Sui's atoms. Apple involuntarily bobbed. Under the lush, leafy tree Lu Sui drank most of a jar of rock sugar water, and only did the oppressive heat subside. Not a few. Zuanbao lifted Thieu height cloth, carefully picked up the large bowl, and handed it over. Husband. Lu Sui took the bowl with a stern face. How many times I have to tell you, I'm not your husband. I like women with breasts and curves. Seeing this, Zuanbao pouted discontentedly. I have them too, just a bit small, but I think they're quite big myself. Hubby, do you want to see? Zuanbao pinched her flat chest. Lu Sui felt like she was going to make him laugh in anger, frowning fiercely, not looking. Zuanbao's eyes were red at Theckerner's round, rolling tears threatening to fall but not falling. You're not looking at mine, whose do you want to look at? Lu Sui shoveled 2 big mouthfuls of rice, stuffing in several pieces of braised fish meat. Strangely, there wasn't a single fishbone. He ate very rudely. In the blink of an eye, the bowl was empty. When finished eating and looked up, he saw Zuanbao hugging his knees and quietly sobbing. Big and small pearls of tears covered the face. I'm really done. Now you're crying. Don't cry. I won't look anymore, okay? Damn it. I've even hidden in the cornfield, and you still won't let me go. Zuanbao sadly clenched his fists. You already have me. You still go look at others. Isn't mine just smaller than others? You still dislike me. No matter how much you dislike me, I'm still your wife. Lu Sui was choked up for a moment, then, after a long pause, he pulled at his lips and said, with a mix of amusement and exasperation, all right. Whatever you say it is, then it is. What is it? Stop crying. Then, are you still looking at others? Zuanbao asked angrily. Lu Sui had never felt so humiliated before. Oh, dear mother, when did I ever say I was going to look at others? Then aren't you looking at mine? Zuanbao pressed closer step by step. Lu Sui's lower abdomen tightened, and he suddenly felt a surge of heat rushing to his brain. I didn't want to see it. As he spoke, he threw the bowls and chopsticks into the bamboo basket and gulped down the remaining half jar of sugar water in one go. If you don't want to see it, then don't. Zuanbao muttered as he tittied up. Lu Sui glanced at her sunburned nape, his eyes darkening slightly. All right, hurry back. I'm not going back. I'll help you pack up. 2 people are faster than 1. Before Zuanbao could finish speaking, Lu Sui's face fell. Pack up my ass, you. Hurry up and go back. You're just wasting time here. I won't waste any. Zuanbao stubbornly trotted into Theckernefield, grabbing and breaking off corn as soon as she found it. Lu Sui gritted his teeth, too lazy to pay her any more mind. After breaking corn for over an hour, Zuanbao was so hot that he broke out in a sweat, the perspiration on his forehead trickling down along his brow bone. His eyes were fierce. Lu Sui was somewhat distracted. He had thought the little fool wouldn't hold out for long, but unexpectedly, he endured for over an hour. The jade-like neck was covered entirely in the bumps from mosquito bites. She scratched and picked at them, her chest and neck a bloody mess. By the time the sun was a little less fierce, only a patch of earth remained. Lu Sui squinted and looked at Zuanbao, who was squatting on a pile of corn, husking it. Shell. Lu Sui lifted his clethesto wipe off some sweat, then Being pushed open, Zuan Bao, who was up. We'll peel the corn husks when we get home. Don't mess with it anymore. Go wait for me under the tea tree. Zuan Bao didn't go under the tea tree, still under the scorching sun peeling corn husks, peeling a pile, then putting them one by one into feed bags, not slacking off at all. Lu Sui was breaking the corn forcefully, low. He cursed under his breath, holding Ganto that stubborn energy as he finished the last piece of the cornfield. He twisted his aching neck, picked up the sickle, and was about to pack up and head back, but he had barely taken 2 steps before he froze, all because what should have been on the pile of corn was Zuanbao is missing. Lu Sushirt skipped a beat, and he hurriedly quickened his pace torn over the bamboo basket under. The tree was still there, but looking around, he couldn't find any trace of Zuanbao. Honey! Suddenly, Zuanbao's voice came from behind. Lu Sui turned around abruptly. Go! And see Zuanbao holding the enamel tea mug with the big red double hapanesharak is curved as he looks at him. Lu Sui storms forward angrily. Where did you run off to without a word? Zuan Bao carefully hands the water cup over. I went to fetch water, husband, you drink. Seeing this, Lu Sui's wildly beating heart gradually returned to normal. Silly, everything is also your wife. Zuan Bao smiled and stuffed the enamel tea mug into his hand, then went back to sitting on the corn pile and peeling corn husks on her own. Lu Sui held the enamel tea mug and drank. Took 2 big mouthfuls. Don't peel anymore. Let's go home. What should we do with all this corn? Zuan Bao asked, tilting his head. First, put it into the feed bag and seal it up. Later, I'll chop a few more corn stalks to cover it. Tomorrow morning, we'll have Sakandunkel bring the minivan to haul it away, said. Lu Sui stuffed the empty animal cup into her hands. I'll fill it, you stand aside. I'll help you fill it. Zuan Bao didn't listen to him. She put the cup aside and propped open the feed bag. Lu Sui was taken aback for a moment, then started filling it. The corn was finished. Thetwo of them worked together and quickly loaded the corn piled into a small mountain. Lu Sui bent down and effortlessly hoisted 2 bags. Zuanbao also wanted to carry some, but didn't lift properly and ended up being knocked over instead. She looked pitifully at Lu Sui. Old. Save me. Lu Sui lifted Thekern that was pressing down on Zuan Bao, only then realinked her rolled up pant leg. Revealed a calf bleeding profusely. I fell while fetching water earlier. Got a cut from a stone. Lu Sui helped hair up. The blood had already flowed into the shoe was inside, yet she didn't even cry out in pain. On a scorching afternoon, Lu Suka rides Wanbao on his back, walking towards the clinic. Zuanbao's thin, frail arms clung to Lu Sui's broad, thick shoulders, the burning muscles under his palms pulsing with each step. The clinic. In the room, Zuanbao's wound needed to be disinfected with alcohol. Her husband felt the pain. The cotton swab had barely touched it, and it already hurt. Her eyes welled up with tears. If it were in the past, Lu Sui would have scolded her for being girlish and fussy, but now, he just coaxed her softly. Bear with it a little. It'll be done soon. The Femiledictor's technique is very skilled, but the alcohol swabbing the wound still stings fiercely. Lu Sui reached out to hold Zuan Bao's shoulder, but instead, she grabbed his arm. Zuan Bao, in pain, bit down in his forearm, biting it hard. Very deep. When she released her mouth, it even left a bright red bite mark. On the way back, Zuan Bao sobbed an apology. I'm sorry, husband. Does it hurt? Lu Sui's heart trembled. It doesn't hurt. They ran head o Ninto, a man returning from the fields. Watching the 2 of them crying and laughing, they couldn't help but tease Lu Sui. Sui Z, did you secretly bully your wife in the cornfield? Lu Sui shot a cold glance at the man. Under the sunset, a blush crept up to the roots of his ears. Zuan Bao, obediently, lying on the sofa, San Guizi took chilled milk and honey. applying it bit by bit of the red, burning skin. The fiery, stinging pain instantly vanished. Zhao Sui, you've worked hard all day, go rest quickly. Thosatwu cornfields at Shuangwan tomorrow. I'll go, it's not tiring. Auntie, I'll again tomorrow. You're not in good health, don't do heavy work. Song Hezi had a miscarriage unexpectedly during her pregnancy years ago, with heavy bleeding, and it took over a year of recuperation before she could get out oft. Lu Sui looked at her with a gloomy face. The leisurely army, tomorrow you come with me, if you dare to go play Mahjong again I'll go smash the Mahjong parlor. Hearing this, Army's hands uncontrollably trembled twice, the roulette cigarette scattering all over the floor. Smashing Mahjong parlors was something Lu Suizhen had actually done at 15 years old. At that time, Army was playing Mahjong every day and never came home, and he also owed a pile of debts. This made Lu Sui so angry that he picked up a chair and smashed the Mahjong room, causing Army to tremble at the sight of Mahjong for a while. Auntie, I'm going to sleep. You should rest early. There are a lot of mosquitoes in the room. Lighting this will help you sleep better. As she spoke, Song Huza picked up the mosquito coil prepared on the table and handed it to Lu Sui. Lu Sui took the mosquito coil and left without looking back. It wasn't until he heard the door close that Lu Jun started cursing and grumbling. He said, if you want to go, then go. What's with the aggression? After all, I'm practically half a father to you. Several moths were circling around the ceiling. Light. Lu Sui lay on the bamboo mat on the floor, looking at the bite mark on his arm. It felt as if ants were crawling in his heart, and he was utterly restless. He made a clicking sound with his tongue and then closed his eyes. At that moment, Xuanbao tiptoed in and tentatively called out, husband. Seeing Man didn't move, she gently picked up the small blanket from the bed and thinly down on the floor like a little mouse. On the cool mat, she shifted her baton, carefully moving closer. Lu Sui pricked up his ears, listening to the rustling sounds, then suddenly spoke, go sleep on the bed. This startled Zuan Bao, who pulled the blanket over her face and said in a muffled voice, say, no, you are my husband, I am your wife, wherever you sleep, I'll sleep there. As words fell, Lu Sui punched the mat, his dark eyes filled with rage. Then I'll go sleep in the pigsty. Hearing this, Zuan Bao directly stood up, holding the blanket in a ball. Then I'll take the mosquito coil. The pigsty has many mosquitoes. Lu Sui was almost amused and angered by her, feeling like he lifted a rockinly to drop it on his own foot. Finally, after a fuss, he accordly down again. Zuan Bao also lay down. She tucked in the little blanket, turned on her side, and asked leisurely, honey, so we're not going to sleep in the pigsty anymore? Lu Sui gritted his teeth. Do you believe I'll throw you out? No, then sleep. Stop talking. Okay, husband. Lu Su frowned tightly, closing his eyes, forcing himself to try not to and Zuan Bao beside him, but that cloyingly sweet milk candescent always seemed to linger. The open field tempted him, especially since Zuan Bao kept squirming. Lu Sui truly couldn't bear it anymore. Keep moving, and see if I don't really throw you out. Honey, I'm itchy all over, Zuan Bao said pitifully. The mosquitoes bit me in the cornfield during the day. The place was itching again. Lu Sui turned over, and Zuan Bao she fastened 2 buttons, as white as milk. Husband, scratch it Fong. Seeing this, Lu Sui seemed bewitched, reaching out his hand in a daze. Scratch. Zuan Bao lifted her clothes, scratching her back. I can't reach it. Watching the scene before him, Lu Sui's prominent Adam's apple bobbed up and down. He tremblingly reached out his hand, gave a hard scratch, then abruptly stood up. Husband, where are you going? Zuan Bao was a bit puzzled, sitting up and about to chase after him. You sleep first, I'm going to take a shower. Lu Sui, battling the intense heat, took a nearly hour-long cold shower before finally calming down. When he returned to their room, Zuan Bao was already asleep. Lu Sui, the little blanket she kicked off was covered over her again, and then he lay down quietly beside her, listening to the shallow breathing behind him. Lu Sui's mind was in utter chaos. When he woke up the next day, Lu Sui had dark circles under his eyes. He had last night. I hardly slept at all. Zuanbo had his arms wrapped around his neck, sleeping soundly, occasionally smacking his little lips. He stiffly raised his hand, intending to move Zuanbao's arm away, but who would have thought Zuanbao held him even tighter, even pressing his face closer. Come. Lu Sui's breathing grew heavy, and he could only withdraw his hand, as if surrendering. Then came another long wait, until he confirmed that Zuanbao had fallen asleep. Only did Lu Sui reach out again to pry her open. Immediately after, he quickly got up and fled in panic into toilet. He went to the bathroom. Just washing up took over an hour, most of which was spent taking cold showers. Zhao Sui, you're up, come and eat. Song Hezi took a large porcelain bowl, filled it to the brim with fried rice for him, and then brought over the everything was packed in the bamboo basket. Lu Sui looked at the bamboo basket, his eyes darkening a little. It was the one Zuan Bao had carried yesterday when she went to deliver the meal. At that time, in order to carry her to the clinic, he had hidden the bamboo basket under the cornstalks. Song Hezi could tell his confusion was resolved. The bamboo basket was brought back by your second uncle. Upon hearing this, Lu Sui looked through the glass toward the courtyard, where the dozen or so bags of corn harvested yesterday had already been neatly stacked. Song Hezi smiled. The van suddenly broke down, and your second uncle was. He carried them back bag by bag, and only when he couldn't carry any more did he go next door to borrow a cart from your uncle Zhang. Lu Sui frowned. Second uncle had always been famous in the village as a lazabones. Before he got married, he relied on his parents to support him, and after marrying, relied on his wife to support him. Even worse than leeches in the paddy field still suck blood. Lu Sui had seen the farm work he had done. You could count it all in your fingers. Suddenly being diligent all of a sudden, it's a bit hard to get used to. Does he owe someone money again? Song Hezi wiped her hands on her apron. Probably not. I only give him $10 a day. He couldn't owe anyone. Lu Sui didn't think too deeply about it. After eating, he carried the bamboo basket and went to the cornfield. The morning sun wasn't too harsh yet, shining warmly on people. Lu Sui picked the corn very quickly, and in no time he had picked a large section off the cornfield. By noon, only a small piece. Lu Sui originally planned to endure the scorching sun, finish breaking the corn, and then go back. But suddenly, Zuanbao's call came from behind. Husband. Before Lu Sui could even turn around, he was hugged from behind by a soft body. Lu Sui's corn breaking. My hand froze. He didn't know what magic this little fool possessed. But as soon as he got close, he would lose all composure. Hubby, why didn't you call me? Zuanbao's soft voice was full of grievance. Let go. No. Zuanbao held on even tighter. Lu Sui gasped for breath, his voice low as he said, let go first. No, then how am I supposed to eat lunch? Like this? Lu Sui sounded fierce. Zuanbao let out an "oh" and finally released her grip. Her eyes were red, licky a little rabbits. Lu Sui didn't dare to. One more glance, afraid of falling in again. Under the tree shade, Zuanbao's long eyelash fluttered as she lifted the cloth from the bamboo basket, revealing plump, white buns inside. Zuanbao pointed at the ugliest bun on top and said, pork and cabbage filling. I made them, but mine don't look good. Anti-ears look nice. Lu Sui picked one up and took a big bite, chewing a couple of times. They taste awful. Zuanbao poked at his shins. Then I won't make them next time. Lu Sui's eyes darkened. He licked his lips, seeming somewhat unsatisfied. The Yuglistbans had basically all been eaten by him. Zuan Bao listlessly rested Hishin on his knees. Lu Sui suppressed the corners of his mouth, feeling an inexplicable of triumphant satisfaction inside. At this moment, a rough, playful voice sounded from behind them. Who is this, fooling around in broad daylight in the cornfield? Lu Sui narrowed his eyes and looked over. The man on the tricycle had deep wheat-colored skin, broad shoulders, and was tall. The face is very aggressive, with sharp brow bones and a high nose bridge. Clearly someone not to be trifled with. Yu Zhang, are you tired of living? As he spoke, Lu picked up a stone from the cornfield and threw it at him. Yu Zhang dodged it with a playful laugh. Such a fiery temper, he must have been holding it in for a long time. He is Lu Sui's childhood friend. They enlisted together as soon as they turned 18. Yu Ziying is in Thermi Aviation. Lu Sui is in the field army. Because their areas of jurisdiction are far apart, the two usually only see you once. Seeing it, Huaxing Zhang, Zuanbao sweetly called out, "Brother Ying." Yu Zhang responded with a laugh, then jumped down from tetracycle. He lifted the white cloth covering the meat, then picked out a fine piece of pork belly, handed it into Zuanbao's hands. "Zuanbao, take it back and haven't Hua make braised pork for you." Seeing this, Zuanbao quickly hid behind Lu Sui. "I can't take it." Second aunt said you wouldn't accept money. "Can't take it." Hearing this, Yu Zhang looked at Lu Sui and clicked her tongue in awkwardness. I remember you had quite a thick skin. How come your wife isn't like you? Lu Su caught his sarcasm and didn't show him any politeness at all. Directly snatched the pork belly from his hand and threw it into the empty bamboo basket. "How come you're even selling meat now? Isn't your brother an official in the city? Didn't he arrange a job for you? I'm delivering meat for my dad. Him being an official is his business. What the hell does it have to do with me? Besides, can't learn to flatter and suck up. Acting like a subservient grandson is his thing. One person going is enough." Ash spoke. Yu Zhang stuck to the steamed buns in the bamboo basket. "I'm just hungry. I'll take 2. Saying he'd take 2, he actually took 5. Lu Sui's face darkened. "You greedy thing. Just eat your 2 buns then. So petty. I haven't even blamed you for charming away all the villages, young maidens and young widows. Themant you came back." Lu Sui gave him a cold glance. "If you want toady, just say it." Yu Zhang chewed slowly. "I wasn't talking nonsense. See, the young widow. Isn't this just perfect?" As he finished speaking, he pointed toward the narrow path separated by 2 cornfields. A woman in a blue cotton dress was walking this way, her jet black long hair braided into 2 pigtails, every smiling frown utterly captivating. "Brother Lu, cornfield is at the very bottom. The tricycle can't get in. Can you help me carry it up?" The woman was Lin Zhaojio, the daughter-in-law of the Zhou family in the backyard, who became a widow less than a year after marrying over. The woman's charming gaze made Zuan Bao Yin felt somewhat uneasy. She wanted to tug at Lu Sui's clothes to stop him from going, but Lu Sui had already agreed. First, the 2 of them walked away, one in front of the leaving only Zuan Bao standing there, staring blankly. "Husband, why did you go with her?" Yu Zi, who was nearby, Ying also teased him playfully. "Because she has big breasts. Suizi likes women like her the most." Upon hearing this, Zuan Bao's heart skipped a beat. She looked at the steamed buns in the bamboo basket, her deer-like eyes growing redder and redder. In the cornfield, Lu Sui, after carrying Thekern, "We'll leave." Lin Zhaojio smiled and brushed her hair. "Thank you so much, Brother Lu. Why don't you come to my place tonight? Let me treat you to a meal." Lu Sui didn't agree, just silently hurried back. Nund, It's a small matter. On the way back, Lu Sui only saw Zuanbao alone. Yu Zhang had gone to deliver meat at some point. Husband, Zuanbao, hearing the footsteps, chested up with a whoosh and stumbled towards him. Husband, look, mine have grown too. Don't like her like me, okay? Lu Sui looked at her towering peaks, feeling a wave of dizziness and ringing in his ears. Roughly pulling down Zuanbao's collar, two large mounds directly fell out, which were the big buns from noon. Zuanbao's flat chest was scalded red in two large patches. Are you out of your mind? Lu Sui shouted very loudly. Zuanbao lowered her head, her voice timidly. Husband, I just want you to only look at me. Lu Sui couldn't help but curse, not listening to her explanation. His long arm yanked, caught Zuanbao and spanked his bottom hard. When he stopped, Zuanbao's face was covered in tears. You hit me. I'm going to tell second uncle and second aunt and have them beat you. She bit her lip, wiping her tears as she walked, struggling to lift the bamboo basket filled with meat, and tottered away. Watching Zuanbao's departing figure, Lu Sui irritably snapped a corn stalk. By the time Zhang returned from delivering the meat, only Lu Sui was left, looking utterly with the dogtail grass clenched between his teeth, sitting there. Oh, so you know how to come back. I thought you'd run off with that little widow. Lu Sui shot him a cold, sidelong glance. At a glance, if you don't know how to talk, then shut your mouth. If that doesn't work, I'll help you sew it shut. Hearing this, Yu Zhang waved his hand with a cheeky grin. Wrong, wrong. Then he scanned the room, but didn't see Zuanbao's figure. Where's Zuanbao? He went back first. Lu Sui irritably plucked off the dogtail grass and gave a non-committal. Suddenly, Yu Zhang's gaze swept over the bamboo basket. Suddenly, my eyes lit up. Hey, how come there are two buns here? Are you going to eat them? If not, I'm taking them. With that, Yu Zhang reached out to grab a bun, but before his hand could even enter the bamboo basket, Lu Sui smacked it. What are you doing? These two aren't allowed. Why? It's not like you were going to eat them. Anyway, Yu Zhang frowned and retorted. Lu Sui was stunned for a moment, then fell silent. My throat is hoarse. Well, I'm not full either. Then we'll have one each. As he spoke, Yu Zhang reached his hand in again. No way. As soon as the words fell, Lu Sui grabbed both buns in his hand and took a bite out off each directly. Seeing this, the appetite vanished in an instant. Damn, what a cheapskate. This time, Lu Sui's surprising light didn't curse back, just silently finished the two buns without a word. Not sure if the buns were too hot, but his face was flushed red. After eating the buns, Lu Sui packed up his things and returned home. Hearing the sound of the door, to no good, was startled like a little deer. Panic-stricken, she was about to run. Lu Sui's darkened as he grabbed her firmly. Why run? Zuanbao pouted. Husband is bad. The next second, Lu Sui saw a floor full of fragments, and his eyebrows suddenly furrowed. Those were his underwear. Whose band? I was wrong. Zuanbao's tears fell pattering down. Lu Sui gave a cold laugh, his wicked thoughts softened by this little fool. Her pleas for mercy stirred him up, making him want to see her cry even more pitifully. He extended his large hand, pinched her mouth, and crushed the intermittences. Zuanbao sniffled, tears streaming as she accused her husband. You hit me, you're bad. I won't be your wife anymore. What's wrong with Zuanbao? Why are you crying? Second uncle heard the crying and knocked on the door. Lu Sui didn't want to cause trouble and swiftly covered Zuanbao's mouth. No, you heard wrong. Then he stared fiercely at Zuanbao. If you cry again, I'll hit you. Zuanbao shuddered violently, shaking his head with sobs, scalding tears, dropping one by one onto Lu Sushan. If you don't cry, I'll let you Go. Hearing this, Zuanbao nodded like pounding garlic. Lu Sui smirked. If I had known that coercion and inducement would be so effective, I wouldn't have had Tongzhi all that frustration earlier. But as soon as he moved his hand away, he was bitten back by Zuanbao. Lu Sui hissed in pain, and a bright red bite mark immediately appeared on his dark arm. Before Lu Sui could even settle the score with her, Zuanbao stepped on it and scrambled up. She pushed open the door and darted outside, crying and shouting as she ran, "Second uncle, second aunt, my husband hit me." Immediately after, she crashed headlong Jinto Song Hizi's embrace. Second uncle was. The scene erupted in anger. Just now felt something was off, and now I see Zuanbao's eyes are swollen from crying. Lu Sui, you get the hell out here. Since when is it your turn to call the shots in this family? Hey, don't be impulsive. Let's figure out what's going on first. But the child might have misunderstood. Song Hizi is a reasonable person, and she knows Lu Sui's natural too well. Lu Sui casually threw on a vest and came out looking disheveled, raising his hand to show them. He bit me. Clearly, you weryth one who covered my mouth first. Zuanbao kept talking while tears streamed down uncontrollably. Song Hizi couldn't wipe them fast enough with both hands. Zuanbao, don't cry. Why did you cover Zuanbao's mouth? Lu Jun pointed his finger at Lu Sui's nose. He cut up all my underwear. You hit me first, and he hit many times. Each blow was very heavy. Zuanbao said he wanted to pull the pants down. Ai. Zuanbao, no. Seeing this, Song Hizi hurriedly reached out to stop it. Lu Sui was stimulated until his eyes turned red. A scalding hot rushed to his brain fiercely. He pulled her over, raised his hand, and started hitting her on the butt. Uncle, auntie, save me. Before he could even land a few hits, he was pulled apart by Lujin and Songguizi. Zhao Sui, let's talk this out properly. Song Hizi shielded Zuanbao and her, while Lujin stood between them. Among people, Lu Sui landed. You little brat, you've grown some guts, even daring to hit your own wife. Lu Sui retorted, didn't you hit your wife, bear? What right do you have to criticize me? Lu Jun was choked for armament, but quickly fought back. Then you, aren't you denying Zuanbao? She's not your wife. What right do you have to hit her? Lu Sui was left speechless by the retort, and stormed out with large strides. Zhao Sui, Song Hizi wanted to chase after him, but was pulled back by Lu Jun. Don't chase him, don't you know yet? Him? Where else could he go besides under the osmanthus tree? Song Hizi was still lunacy. You watch Zuanbao. She hurriedly chased after him. Lu Sui was indeed under the osmanthus tree, his eyes gloomy and fierce, emanating an aura that kept strangers at bay. Song Hizi did not disturb him, and made her way back into the house. Lujin was peeling a white rabbit milk candy for Zuanbao. Zuanbao is good. Don't cry anymore, okay? When the car is fixed tomorrow, I'll take you to the market in town. I'll buy you silk dolls, fried potatoes, and load them up with lots of fishmeat, alright? Zuanbao sobbed in agreement. Round, plump teardrops clung to his eyelashes, threatening to fall, but not quite. The soldier placed the peeled Witterabbit milk candy into her mouth, raising his hand to gently tap the tip of her nose. Little greedy cat. Zuanbao chewed on the white rabbit milk candy, saying in a sticky, mumbling voice, I'm not a little greedy cat, I'm Zuanbao. Songguizi was amused and reached out her hand. Wipe away the last 2 teardrops at the corner of her eye. The eyes are already swollen. If you keep crying, they'll swell into little peaches. Little peaches, I don't want that. Zuanbao covered her eyes. No more crying. Army also mimicked her tone. Yes, no more crying. Song Hizi gently covered Zuanbao's ears and lowered her voice to say to Lujin, don't be so partial to Zhao Sui from now on. Hearing this, Theckerner of Lujin's mouth twitched. How? Am I partial? I raised him to Thesage, and even put him through university. And what about the fruit? He enlisted without a word, only comes back once every few years. What have I ever done to let him down? Fine. Stop talking. Song Hzi tugged at him. Zuan Bao couldn't hear very clearly, but could still sense it that Lu Jun was angry. She peeled a piece of white rabbit creamy candy and held it to Lu Jun's mouth. Uncle, you have some too. Seeing this, Lu Jun's expression changed instantly. It's our Zuanbao who's good. He don't care for you. That's his poor judgment. Later, I'll find you a new husband, 100 times better than him. Hearing this, Zuanbao shook her head. No, I just want my husband. Sanguizi dotingly pinched her cheek. His face. All right then, well take Zhao Sui. The setting sun sinks, and the evening mist is hazy and dressy. Beneath the osmanthus tree, Lu Sui's burly figure never moved away. Zuan Bao moved the small sofa to the window, knelt on it with both legs, and secretly peeked outside. Song Hzi finished cooking, took off her apron, and headed out. Auntie, where are you going? I'm going to call Zhao Sui for dinner. Let me go instead. With that, Zuanbei got down from the sofa, mustered her courage, and trotted out. But Wench was still some distance from Lu. After a few steps, he began to tremble with fear again. Husband, dinner is ready. Lu Sui frowned tightly, his face as gloomy as dark clouds before a storm, and with a snap, he broke the branch in his hand. Husband, are you still angry? Zuan Bao timidly shrank back, moved closer. Then Hawabutu hit me. As she spoke, she lifted Lu Sui's hand. Zuan leaned his body to the other side, turning his head to look at him. Husband, I was wrong. Tomorrow, I'll to the market and buy you lots and lots underwear. Don't be angry anymore, okay? Hearing this, Lu Sui glanced at her with a cold and indifferent expression. Get lost. Zuan Bao nodded heavily. I know how to do that, but I have to take my clothes off before I roll. Otherwise, get my clothes dirty. Old Gong, can you help me hold the clothes? As he said this, Zuan Bao didn't hesitate at all and started pulling down his pants. Seeing this scene, Lu Sui was so agitated that the veins on his neck instantly bulged, and he quickly grabbed her hand, holding it tightly. Don't take them off.